Players decided that Trayvon Diggs is the 23rd best player in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
How are we feeling about that?
No shot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm leaning towards worse here.
Yeah. I'm not leaning.
Actually, I'm not
full
leaning.
speed sprinted into it.
How's it going, everybody? That's where you answer to your screen rhetoric.
It's going
like,
good.
It's like Dora.
Yeah.
Como estás?
Where's Austin? He's right there.
This is episode 48.
The Austin Carr podcast, the number I wore in high school. You know the deal.
Of the Harvest for Sports podcast with your hosts, Noah
and Austin. You know what's weird or wild? I know they don't care, but I chose 48 because it was Derek's number and my dad's. That's a pretty good reason to have that number, right?
Yeah, that's as good a number as any.
And Tyler went 84 for a while. He flipped it.
Is that why he did 84 because of that?
And then he said, Papa Carr, 13 now. So I was like, all right. And now BC gives him 46. So we just have to imagine the line.
46, that's what you...
Yeah.
That's a weird number.
That's a very weird number.
Well, I was saying my number when I played sports that had numbers when I was a youngin'. I was like, what am I going to choose? My team's quarterback. Where's number 8? Jason Campbell. That was my...
You said my hero.
my hero, Jason Campbell, the future of the Oakland Raiders.
That is wild to think about. Did you didn't buy a jersey for every quarterback, right? You had to be you knew the deal. Like as one sticks around for a few years.
I had a Zach Miller jersey. Real ones remember Zach Miller. Goated tight end.
Yeah, real ones remember. Alrighty, let's get right into some news. So first, let's start with Aaron Donald, right? For those of you who haven't heard, Aaron Donald got in a fight with Bengals players during the joint practice. He ripped their helmet off and used it as a weapon. Very much reminded me of Myles Garrett when he fought Mason Rudolph in 2019. Remember that whole situation?
Uh-huh.
Myles Garrett, that was during the season, and he got suspended indefinitely, and then he got reinstated after 2 games because he went and met with Goodell. The Rams, because like the NFL rules state that because it happened at practice, the Rams deal the punishment and not the NFL. Do you think the Rams are going to suspend him?
No.
Yeah.
Are the Rams going to suspend their best player, potentially the best player in the NFL?
That's why. As soon as I heard like it's up to the Rams to suspend him, I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, okay, tell him he's bad, and then let's let him roll week 1.
Stop it, Aaron.
Aaron, that wasn't really cash money to you.
I mean, realistically, they probably, if they're smart, they probably will take it serious and actually like do stuff to ensure that nothing like that happens in the future. Because as for a front office and for coaches, that's like your worst fear is like these, like conduct issues, stuff like that ruin careers sometimes. But so I would think you want to give them send the message across, but there's no way they would do it by making him sit out a game and hurt the team.
Yeah, I think the NFL probably would have, like, if it was up to the NFL. If it was during the regular season like Myles Garrett, I think they would have had to, or they would have looked like a hypocrite for Myles Garrett's situation.
No, absolutely. It'd have to be the same thing.
Yeah, but now it happened at practice. No shot. I don't think Aaron Donald's getting suspended. He's going to play week 1.
Yeah.
They might, like, I don't know what they could do. Like, sometimes they fine him. Like, they might fine him some cash or something.
Although, it is weird, though. So it's still up to the Rams, even though it was a joint practice?
Yeah, it's up to the Rams, even though it was a joint practice.
That's weird to me.
Because
it's another if it's like something that happens with your own guys, he smacked Matthew Stafford over the head with a helmet, then like that makes sense. But when it's a joint practice, that seems really weird to me.
You would think the Rams or the Bengals would want some like they'd be like, he took a helmet off our boy and smacked him in the head with it. Can we get some like repercussion from this?
Or like I mean, like that's also like assault,
straight up.
Like that's also a crime. So I don't. That is weird. I assume the player. Do you know who it was that got hit? No. I assume he wouldn't probably press charges, but it is a crime.
Yeah,
I would think.
I saw one. It was like he hit the guy with the helmet, and he hit the guy with the helmet. Hit another guy with the helmet. And everyone was taking like, look how good these new NFL helmets are. Look at how it compresses. I'm like, thank you. That's what we're pointing out right now. It's like, these are really keeping the guy safe. I'm like, okay. I didn't know they were like, as soon as they got into the NFL, they should be wary of getting smacked in the head with another helmet.
Yeah, they're like, you see how there's like a little, because that's what they say is the like flex. There's like an extra little give.
Yeah, there's a little
like,
cushion to it.
Like, that actually saved his life. That actually would have been a lethal hit. If like,
oh, thanks, man. Like Aaron Donald would have killed you if you didn't have this helmet on. Like, I'm glad. And are we suspending him? No, he's just gonna get fined like $30,000. All right, sounds good. See you week 1.
Yeah, I bet that's probably what they'll do is just fine him.
I think so.
Fine him some money.
And he'll be like, all right, cool, man. Now let's move on. Talking about the Browns again, we talked about Myles Garrett for a second, but the Browns potentially having weed on the sidelines. All these pictures are going around, right? So during the Browns game versus the Bears, a camera picked up a Browns player on the sideline with a bag of what looked like it contained weed. They say it's probably sunflower seeds or pistachios, but does it make too much sense that it's the Browns specifically that are getting in trouble or like in the cause of scrutiny for this?
Yeah, that picture does look pretty bad. But I think that looks like sunflower seeds.
Yeah,
if you look closely.
People are saying sunflower seeds are
pistachios. There's just no way.
There's no way.
There's just no way you would have it just sitting on the sideline.
Like he's just cooking with it. How bad does the game have to go to be like, dang, bro, we gotta get this out of here?
And the preseason games is
full on like clear bag too, like a school, like your mom packed your lunch for you. His mom packed weed for him. If you get stressed during the Bears preseason game, he's like, man, dude, where was he keeping it? Like if he had that bag on him, that's where he'd have to have it. It's tucked in the.
He's a big guy. He can stick it somewhere. I don't know. just tucked in his jersey somewhere.
What would the controversy be in the NFL if during a live game a bag of weed popped out of someone's pads?
If somebody gets laid into it and it just knocks it back.
Just weed goes bow like it explodes. But yeah, there's no shot it was actually weed. But I just love that it's the Browns specifically that are getting, because they've turned into like they always are kind of it, but it's like if this guy gets in trouble, if this happens, like the Browns have signed, blah 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 blah. It kind of makes too much sense. The Browns specifically would have this little drama around them.
I think the Browns also, it seems like recently they've kind of taken it was like they suck, but everybody like wants to you always want to root for them. But lately it's like I feel like everybody kind of has shifted their tone to where it's no longer like, oh, the Browns suck, but we all want to see, like, we're all rooting for them. They're underdogs. Now it's like you have brought this stuff upon yourself by making stupid decisions over and over.
Yeah, as soon as Deshaun got traded, it was no longer, oh, poor little Browns. It was, these are the enemy. We hope they keep losing.
Yeah, well, and there's a difference between guys on the team that you can feel bad for, like Baker or like other guys that like you feel for the situation that
like
they're in.
Odell when he was there.
Yeah. Odell or even like Myles Garrett is too good of a player to be on such a bad team. But that's different than like the front office. It's like, you guys just like this doesn't just happen.
Yeah, you would think like if you were like a bad team, I get like wanting to get that superstar, but you're like, we're a bad team. We probably need good morale in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? So like this, like just as Sean's, like this might not be the guy we want to bring in to like really boost the team up. Yeah. And then the thing on the sideline, like, I can't imagine the people at like the front office right now. They're like, we can't catch a break. Like this just keep going forever. And now let's move on to something that we talked about on Twitter. What DC8 called it, Derek Carr versus Madden 23. But so Madden gave Derek Carr a not clutch attribute in Madden 23. I was wondering, do you think this is somebody just not paying attention at all and just like was flipping switches, or do you think this was a shot at Derek? Or truly someone like in EA believes Derek's just not clutch?
I think it's a reflection of just Madden's just not accurate with stuff like that. Because undeniably Derek is like
clutch. Yeah,
that's when he's at his best. I think it's probably the only thing I can think of is it's somebody that only looked at the last drive of the last playoff game and decided that was Derek's fault and said this is
exactly
that he's not clutch because of that or whatever.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And I know some people on Twitter were nitpicky about my words. I'm sorry, but since 2015, there you go. Because people are mad. They're like, he's not the most clutch quarterback all the time. It was like, okay, since 2015, Derek has the most fourth quarter comebacks and game-winning drives. So you would feel like that would be like something very specific. It's like, okay, we're making our attributes for these guys Derek Carr, clutch or not. It's like, man, we're good.
Yeah, I mean,
It just has to be laziness.
clutch is not something that you can quantify with a stat.
Yeah.
That being said, if there is a stat to quantify it with, it's literally game-winning drives.
Yeah,
like, that's literally the definition
Yeah.
of clutch.
Game-winning drives and most fourth quarter comebacks, that sounds like the definition of like what a clutch stat would be.
Yeah, if there's a stat where if you can minimize being clutch into a statistical category, that's where it would be, I would think. But
Yeah. And do you like... Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's just more laziness. And I saw like a day or two ago that Amazon is offering to buy EA. Do you think Madden will turn around if Amazon gets ownership of it?
because right now, does anybody own EA?
No, I think it's just EA.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon.
Amazon got that money. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that could be
An
cool.
Amazon Madden with all their money in the world, it would be like virtual reality.
And they would definitely go crazy with Twitch stuff, doing Twitch Madden leagues and stuff, because that's
100%.
Amazon as well.
Yeah, no, they
would all, yeah. I mean, you think Bezos plays Madden?
Oh, bro.
You think he's in there gaming?
Well, I don't know. Ever since he got jacked, he's probably really into stuff like that now.
Yeah, Bezos is.
I love the picture where it's like, here's how jacked he is, and then they show Zuckerberg with the when he was surfing with the sunscreen.
Have you seen the one of Elon on the yacht?
Yeah.
Where they said that this is one of the most unique body types.
I like the ones where it's like, love it or not, this is the peak human form.
And then there's Bezos that's, I don't even know how old he is, and all roided up.
Yeah, 100%. I love when people are like always on roids. I'm like, man, they don't check for roids in just modern life. You're not playing a sport. It doesn't really matter. Like, he's just cooking.
Well, it's like, yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's like, oh, roids. What are we gonna do? Suspend him from life? Like, he's not playing a sport. He's not affecting anybody. And I bet his confidence is through the roof right now. Like, they were just talking about how lit Jeff Bezos is.
That reminds, a while ago, I was at a Dick's Sporting Goods, and you know how The Rock has like a line of clothing with like his logo and stuff. There was a group of guys that were sitting around talking about him, and they were sitting there arguing about whether or not The Rock is on steroids. They're like, dude, I just found out a while ago that I think The Rock is on steroids. What? No, dude, there's no way. There's no way.
They're like, nah, he's good, man.
Man,
I just look, I'm like, does he look like that human is natural?
Man's been drinking milk. I don't know. He drinks his milk. He takes a little creatine, maybe.
Nothing against like his work, because we know he's like one of the hardest workers, right? But still, like, that's not a natural human.
No.
I always love it. It feels like, at least with the gym I go to now, since I've started like really working out, people are more like honest about it. Like, I felt like there used to be more screening, like, oh no, he's on trend or stuff. Now, to me, like, the dudes would come up to me and they'd be like, yeah, I've been on, like, I'm starting my cycle. I'm like, okay, man. I had some dude, I think I told you, looked like he was going through something at the gym when I was benching, and he came over and said, can I PR real quick? And all he had was a hat and a Bible in his hand. What do you think what was that guy going through? My dad said that's the type of guy you ask, and he gives you a quest. Like, he's like, you gotta go slay the dragon.
Yeah, no, that was definitely
like, I failed for sure.
he definitely had a quest for you.
Yeah, if I would have said, like, I was like, who are you? He'd be like, come with me. And
or you were supposed to like challenge him or something.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, you've bested me at bench press. Dude, now I have a quest for you.
He benched his like 3 at PR, no noise. Put it back, said thanks, walked away, never saw him again. Like, these moments where they say like he was a miracle or was an angel, I believe it.
You had to like ask everyone around you, like, you guys saw that too. Like he did exist, right?
I was like, the guy in a baseball cap.
You guys can see this too, right? It's not just me.
A guy with a baseball cap, a t-shirt, and just shorts just cranked that out real quick with the Bible in his hand, right?
Okay, so we've got a game involving the NFL Top 100, which, disclaimer, we're well aware that the NFL Top 100 is chosen
by players,
by committee, by players,
they know more than
who they play with.
Yeah.
So it is based on who they feel is toughest to go against, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So this is from the fan perspective. We're going to be going through a couple names, saying whether we think they are better or worse than
their ranking,
their NFL.
We kind of synced up for a second.
Yeah, no, that was very good.
Better or worse.
All right. In the NFL Top 100,
players
decided that Trayvon Diggs is the 23rd best player in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
How are we feeling about that? 3, 2, 1.
No shot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm leaning towards worse here.
Yeah, I'm not leaning. Actually, I'm not full speed sprinted into it.
I mean, if you think about that, it's hard to compare positions to each other. That being said, there's only 22 players in the NFL that are better players than Trayvon Diggs.
It's so wild. Like, I get it's supposed to be this season, right? Like, it's just season, but still, to me, I feel like I can name 23 better players than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really wild to me. It almost feels like maybe he's like the run to the litter, and they all voted him number one as like a joke.
Yeah,
like Trayvon's really good.
You have some fans say Trayvon Diggs is great, and he has all these picks, all these whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have some that are absolutely slandering him. I think I'm somewhere in the middle.
Me too.
I think he's good, but he does bowl a lot of coverages, and his interception numbers are inflated by how closely he presses to get that pick, and in the process gives up stuff deep.
He's the definition of like a ball hawk. Like, he's looking for the ball, so he like easily he can get like a double move will get him, whatever, but he'll get those interceptions. Like, his interception numbers will be high, but also he's going to give up big plays.
Yeah, which just means that type of corner is not a bad type of corner to have. You just need to be paired up with a good safety.
Yeah, the safety needs to know, like, I'm on Trayvon's side. Things might go down.
Yeah, like I could be looking at Pick Sicky, or I could be looking at a Tug. Like,
that's true. It's like, this is either we're going to be.
I mean, it's a high risk, high reward style of play.
Oh yeah, you're totally right. The safety has to know, like, okay, either I'm about to be running that way in a couple seconds, or I need to make this tackle.
Yeah. So I
think worse.
I'm saying he should be worse than 23 overall.
Yeah, and
23 in the league.
Yeah. Alrighty, my turn. I'll throw it at you. Max Crosby ranked number 59 this season. Is he better or worse than that ranking? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, good. I think he's better. I don't think he's like that much better, but still, I think he should be ranked a little low, like a little, whatever you want to say. I think he should be ranked better than that, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not gonna like make a push for like top 20 or anything crazy, but and I don't know what D-line guys are above him, but as far as edge rushers, there's very few edge rushers that are statistically better than Max Crosby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just very few guys that are consistently bringing as much pressure, and I mean, he doesn't have as many sacks as some other guys, but he's consistently putting pressure on the quarterback every play.
I agree, but if you're thinking about edge rushers, who's the best edge rusher? This is taking account that you have to list all the other positions.
The Bosa brothers are both in like the mid-20s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you had to take into account like these guys, like defensive ends, who's the best defensive ends, and also take into account that they're ranking every position in here, which is still so weird. I feel like it should be like, here's the best D ends, here's the best quarterback, stuff like that. Then I'd be able to make a little more sense of it. I still think Max should be lower.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying he should be smack up with Bosa and stuff, but still closer to the middle of the pack, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I agree.
I'd put him in I'd put him in the other half of 50.
Me too.
In the other half of the
me
top
too.
100.
Yeah, he'd be like 52, 51, 49, like around there for me, I think.
Mm-hmm. Kyle Juszczyk, ranked at number 100, the 100th best player in the NFL. Okay. What do you think? Is he better or worse than that?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
I'll just do better. I think mine is going where that's kind of perfectly placed. Like, perfectly placed. He's a fullback. He's the best fullback, but still, I don't think I would start ranking Juszczyk over some of these other guys.
Yeah,
he deserves to be on the list, but I don't think he, you know what I'm saying? Because he's the best in his position.
I'm going to say better just because I do think he deserves to be in the NFL top 100.
Yeah, exactly.
And anything worse, he would be out of it.
Yeah.
It's just the role that the fullback plays in the modern NFL just is not. It's not that big of a role. So I don't think he should be like even though he's. That being said, it is a position, and he is by far and away the best player at that position. One of the best in recent times. And
I think if you're the best player at your position, you deserve to be on the top 100. And 100 is probably perfect for you.
But I don't think there's probably not a punter or a long snapper on there.
That is
facts. Or placeholder.
There's a placeholder on there.
Yeah, so
best backup.
I think he's the best player at his position. So for that reason, I'd say he deserves to be in there. But I certainly wouldn't put him much higher than that. The role that fullbacks play in the NFL.
Totally agree.
You could be converted to a halfback or something if you're that great.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
All right, my turn. So
Because the production, just production,
true, yeah.
when you don't have as much
there are
production
very few
as a
teams who
halfback.
utilize like a fullback that significant anymore. You know,
Mhm.
it's a dying breed almost.
Yeah, and halfbacks, if you're RB1 on the team, your production is just so much more than a fullback.
Exactly. Yeah. A majority of your time, fullback, you're gonna be blocking most of the time. Like that's just it. Unless you're with the Raiders and you're running Spider Do I Banana. Alrighty. So my turn. We got Derwyn James ranked at number 43. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's good. Mine's hard. My bad. My head's
How old
so
is
freaking-
Derwyn James? He's 26. Okay, I changed mine to.
I'm
I'm gonna change mine to worse. Not that much worse,
Yeah.
but in the context of some of these other defensive guys.
Me too. I think mine strictly goes off of how many injuries he's had. He didn't play all of 2020. 2019, he was off and on. This was the first season since his rookie season he's played a full season.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so I think like having that like when he plays, he's an amazing player, and I'm terrified watching him when the Raiders and Derek play him. But still, I think with injuries and stuff, I would put him. I'd move him back a little bit, 50, 60, around there.
Yeah, how much deciding NFL top 100? How much do you think they do, and how much do you think they should factor in injuries and stuff like that?
I feel like it should. I feel like
Because you have to look. You have to look what they've been able to do.
I
How much they've
agree,
been on
and
the
I
field
get
and produced.
that like they're trying to be like this is specifically for this season, which I get that. But also, like, if this was specific this season, like, guys like Darren Waller didn't play, like, that much at all. So if they kept him off the list, I would riot, you know what I'm saying? So still, I think it has to be a mix of what happened this season and what also their past history is. Because if a guy has one bad season, you're going to kick him off the list, right? Like, if Patrick Mahomes tears ACL today and he doesn't play this whole season, is he not going to be in the NFL top 100 list right this next year? Like, no shot they wouldn't put that man on it, and he would probably be top 20 still, even though he's not playing.
Right.
So I think it does have to be a mix of this current season and past seasons.
Yeah, I would say sort of similar thing. I think that's not. I'm not that mad that this one's like outrageous.
Yeah.
But I would like to see. I don't think we've seen enough from him for him to be above some of the other defensive players that he's above. You know?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. Okay. Stephon Diggs, number 26 in the NFL top 100.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay, good.
okay.
See, I thought you were gonna switch it up. That's what you're fighting over.
No, I don't think this one. I think this is very. When I say better or worse, this is like.
I think
We're splitting hairs to a
yeah,
certain
exactly.
extent.
And I think when I say better, like he's gonna move up like 4 spots. Like he's not gonna jump. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say better, it's like he's not gonna go whamp to number 1. He's gonna move up a little bit.
Well, yeah. I mean, 4 spots is a lot. At that
Yeah,
point,
especially
once you're
at that top,
Once you're
yeah.
towards the top.
I just think that I think he's a top 3-4 wide receiver in the league, and I think that he deserves to be closer to 19, 18, 17, 16, like around there.
Yeah, I would think. I don't think he should be too much.
Because if
I don't think he should be too much higher. But I'd put him towards like the 23, 22. I don't know.
Yeah.
Somewhere better than
Yeah.
26.
Because I think if you had to think of wide receivers that are better than him this season, I would be like Devontae probably, right? Devontae I think is my number 1 wide receiver in the league, and then Cooper Kupp was amazing last year, and then I'd probably put Diggs like 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I might put Jay Jettis up there somewhere.
Jay Jettis and Jamar.
Jay
are
Jettis.
close, yeah.
Jamar somewhere up there, and then Tyreek. People aren't gonna like you not putting Tyreek around there.
Yeah, my bad.
But yeah,
We'll see how Tyreek does with 2. We'll see if he's at the list next time.
I just think that he is. When I think of the best route runners in the NFL, he's towards that top. He's
yeah.
I mean, Devontae,
Cup.
Cooper Kupp, Hunter Renfrow,
Yeah,
and
guys like that.
Stephon. Those are kind of who
Even
I think of as
even though
some
I
of the
don't-
best route runners.
Even
in
though
the
I don't
NFL.
like him as a player, Amari, you got guys like that who are just great route runners and stuff. Even though Amari's hands might not come after, yeah.
Strengths and weaknesses.
Alrighty, my turn. Ready? Russell Wilson, number 61.
Number 61.
61's pretty high.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Okay, I like that.
You said six. Oh, okay. You're saying he's better than 61.
I think he's better than 61, even though I am the biggest Russell Wilson hater. Still.
what's your reason for why he's better?
I think so I think the Seahawks were a bad team for a while, and I think he was one of the reasons they even had a chance in most of these games. And I think that even though he's fun to make fun of, right? Broncos country, let's ride, right? That's funny to make fun of, and he has moments where it's like, is he still that elite player? I think putting him at 61 is still a little rough for a guy like Russell Wilson. You know, this guy he's been in Super Bowls. He won a Super Bowl. It's gonna be interesting to see him on the Broncos, and I think he deserves to be higher than 61.
I think that's actually about the right spot. But given the choice between better or worse, I wouldn't go better. I would slip him down. Looking at quarterbacks around him, Derek Carr, 65.
Yeah.
In my eyes, Derek, in recent years, in last year, was a better quarterback than Russ, which not everybody would agree with, but that's how I see it.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm saying worse because I think he should slip down past that. But yeah, I think somewhere around 61 to 65 is about the right spot where Russ should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be really interested to see how he does on a new team, to see how just when you get guys that are really talented, see them in a new situation, to see how they adapt.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
The number 95th best player in the NFL this year, in the NFL Top 100, CeeDee Lamb was number 95.
Oh, man, okay.
How do you feel about that?
Okay, give me the countdown.
CeeDee Lamb, 95. Okay.
I'm not going to be rude. You know what?
All right. 3-0. You're just going to see where the hand takes you. It's just muscle memory.
No, I'm going to hold it like this, and whatever side it flips.
Whatever feels right in the moment.
Yeah, then I'm going to fight for that side. I'm a swing state.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, there we go.
I'm going to say better.
I think so too.
When you get up in the 90s, it's sort of like, I'm not going to say he's worse because I think he is a top 100 player.
Me too.
I'm not going to fight for him to be much higher than that.
Yeah.
Because
it's like gut reaction. Like, is he better than 90 whatever? I'm like, yes, he feels like he is a better player than that high. Like, than barely making the 100 list.
Yes, not looking at, like, not even thinking of specific other players on the list, but just in general, when I hear CeeDee Lamb 95, I think, ooh, that sounds like I would put a little more respect on him than that. Yeah,
I agree. It's just...
I mean, I'm sure in the future, he's young, so that's probably part of why he's down there, especially from other players. Mm-hmm. You tend to get young guys are a little lower just because
which
it's
is voted on by players that play against them, and not everybody's played against them yet. Which is still, like, I still don't know how they do the list. If it's an average, it's insane, right? But that is wild. I don't know if they're like, if they come to them as like, is this guy 99? And they have to go, no, yeah, and they have to go higher or lower. I don't know how it works, but still, I would say gut reaction, hearing like CeeDee Lamb, hearing what number he is, I'm like, he's better than that number. Mm-hmm. Like, he's better. He's got to be better than that. He doesn't feel like a player to me that's just making it in. Like, to me, I'm like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but to me, I'm like, he's much better than like Juszczyk, right? Even though Juszczyk is the best to his position, I'm like, he's only like 4 spots higher than Juszczyk. In terms of actual impact on the game, exactly. He's yeah. He's yeah. So I would put him a little higher than that at least, I think. All right, Kirk Cousins at 99. Oh yeah, come on, kick him off that list. So basically, the question is, does he deserve to be in the top 100? Does he deserve to be in the top 100 or not? Oh man, I like Kirk. I like Kirk a lot too. I think he's underappreciated. Me too. Is he a top 100 player? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be nice. I'm not. All right. That's good. We get some controversy. All right. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Yes. I'm glad you're the brave one out of all of us. I have been a Kirk Cousins supporter. Mm-hmm. Can I just start? My support for Kirk Cousins is wavering. That's what I'll say, is that I have been of the mindset that he's underappreciated. Yeah. But we're getting to the point. Where we need where you need something to happen. Exactly. You got to make something happen, mm-hmm. or people are going to start pointing fingers at you as the leader of the team. Like, listen, because my better ranking is like, that's probably good for now where he's at. That's more of like a stay still, because You really put into perspective to me the game we played earlier when you listed the different overalls of the players on the Vikings. I'm like, how is this team not? If this team isn't a Super Bowl contender, I don't know what's happening. And then you hit me with it's the Vikings. I was like, Kirk are bringing the team down, like just straight up based off those. I'm like, this is a great team. Like, but you're like making me realize like, wait, they have Adam Thielen, they have Dalvin, they have Justin Jefferson, they have a great defense. I mean, why are they not in the NFC Championship every year?
I get it that their games tend to be, for one, their games last year were all their games last year were all really close.
And they were in a division with Aaron and Devontae.
That being said, I mean, and so I get that their games were really close and there were shootouts because their defense is not nearly as good as their offense. Mm-hmm. That being said, when you have Dalvin Cook, Jay Jettis, Adam Thielen, Swerve and Irvin, when you've got all these guys on your offense, like you got to start. Yeah, you got to start making the playoffs. I hope or else fingers are going to start pointing, and
they know who Swerve and Irvin is.
The fingers are going to start pointing, and they're not going to be pointing at Justin Jefferson.
Yeah,
they're not going to be pointing at him.
Right now, they're pointing at good old 99 right now.
Last year, they were pointed at Mike Zimmer.
Yeah.
This year, I don't know. We'll see. Can I say that since he's 99, I said worse, does that mean he can be 100?
Yeah.
Because he was still sneaking in there, but I'm definitely not going to say he's better than 99.
That was a good one.
Dak Prescott came in number 44 on the NFL Top 100. What do you think about that? Got your answer?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Sorry, Dak. Sorry, Dakota. Rain Dakota.
I don't know, man. I haven't seen enough for him to be above quarterbacks, some of these other quarterbacks. Even Russell Wilson, 61.
Exactly.
I think I'm putting Russell Wilson above Dak based on what I've seen.
I think so, too. And he
just hasn't proven himself enough.
Mm-hmm. And they, even though, like, I'll give it to them, their O-line is pretty much gone now, but they still, like, guys like Micah Parsons, stuff like that, they have an okay defense again. They have a good play caller. Like, Dak, like, you, as a team, cannot be the ones barely scraping it out of the NFC East the whole time. Right? We have the Giants, who are bad right now, the Eagles, who are probably getting better, and they're doing one Super recently, and then the football team, who is, like, rebuilding, basically. And it's hard that you are, like, the Eagles, like, I was always like, I'm like, why are you like so close to the Giants right now?
No, straight up. I mean, 2 seasons ago he was injured.
Yeah.
Putting that aside, the Cowboys should be cakewalking their way out of that division every year with the talent they have on that team.
Yes.
Every year we say, oh, this could be an 11-win season. This could be a 12-win season, and then they just don't.
And then they don't. And then they go out. They draft an offensive line. They have Micah Parsons. They have all these guys, and I'm like, okay, I expect them to blow out the Giants. And then I'm like, why the Giants are fighting with them, and the Giants are fighting for the top of the division. The football team, the Eagles, like this, and it's not like they're fighting because they're all good teams. It's like they're fighting, and they're all like 5, 4, 3, 6 team win games, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dak is a good quarterback. I would like to see more out of. I want to see more out of him, but I just, based on the surrounding players around that spot and quarterbacks that are higher than that, I just can't. I wouldn't be able to.
It's almost the same thing as with Kirk, where I'm like, a lot of the fingers are gonna be pointed at you right now because you are in a significantly easier division than Kirk is, right? Just because Aaron Rodgers is there and Devontae was there. But it's like, you are supposed to be just walking through this division. You're supposed to be in the playoffs every year. It's wild that, the Commanders are fighting to make it and stuff like that. That's why I rank Dak low.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap it up here with our boy, Justin Tucker, ranked 94 in the league. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I agree. I think this is another Kyle Juszczyk thing where it's like, he's the best player, not only at the position right now, but maybe like you could fight for he's the best player ever at his position. So I feel like ranking him 94. I get he's a kicker, and like it's weird because he is way more value than Juszczyk, right? Like he's gonna be the guy that wins and loses you games. So I would be bold and I would put him in like the 80s maybe. Like I would put him up there.
Yeah, I mean
but sometimes they have like guards and stuff like ranked lower, and I'm like, at some points, I feel like Justin Tucker is more important to the team than some of these guards. You could find just a guy to plug in and go. Teams are fighting for their life to find kickers.
Yeah, I definitely believe that he is I believe that he's the best kicker of all time.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to argue like, oh, because he's the best kicker of all time, because he scores however many points, that he should be like top 10, top 20. I'm not going to be ridiculous like that. But I do think that based on how just great he is and the impact that he has on the game, because he does have a big impact on the game and winning football games, I think you have to put him higher than that or better than that. I wouldn't like get crazy and put him that much higher just because he's a kicker. But I would for sure say better. And like the other position that comes to mind is fullback, where Kyle Juszczyk is the only one that barely squeaked in.
Yeah.
But the difference is that Kyle Juszczyk as a fullback does not have half the impact on the game that Justin Tucker does as the best kicker in the NFL.
Exactly, yeah. It's again like Juszczyk has the potential to win games, right? But like Justin Tucker, a majority of the time is going to be the one it comes down to. Like Justin Tucker is the guy when it comes down to like the final play of the game. A lot of the time it's going to be in Justin Tucker's hands. Yeah. Or his foot. My bad.
Nice. That was good. But yeah, I mean, this just comes down to like comparing positions is just tough. But.
Yeah, it's very tough. Again, like, well, I would rather it be like, here's the best QBs, here's the top 10 QBs, here's the top whatever blanks. It'd be easier to rank that way.
Yeah, when you tell me
but then I can be like, yes, I think Matthew Stafford is better than this guard. But then, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it was so much easier to be like, I think Matthew Stafford is better than Russell Wilson. Like that is easier. No, like, who's better, this left tackle or this DN?
Right. Or when you show me like the NFL Top 100 is wild because you ask questions like, who's better, Joe Burrow or Quentin Nelson? And it's like, what in the world?
Like, how am I even supposed to decide?
Like who's a better player? Like,
because if it's supposed to go off of
it's like who's better at the job at their position? Quentin Nelson. By far, for sure.
Like, who's more valuable to their team? Joe Burrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very wild. It's hard to decide. It's hard to decide where the rankings should go. Also, wild to decide how they are ranking them. Mm-hmm. Still wild to me. Never will understand.
Yeah, and we also want to talk about when it comes to NFL Top 100 snubs.
Yeah.
Some of the names that came to mind for me was
Hunter.
I don't know how Hunter Renfrow is not on the list. That's ridiculous to me.
Because it was to the point where at the time we saw like the 90s, the 80s went by, the 60s came by when like the Raiders started to be in it. I was like, okay, so Hunter, and then like that my mind was, so Hunter's ranked lower. Yeah. And then it got to a point where I was like, Hunter's not ranked this low.
When they got through the first 50, when they got through 100 to 51, I was like, okay, either Hunter got totally disrespected and got left off this list, or they actually did. Or they did the boy right.
Yeah, either they are really praising him, or he's been disrespected.
But yeah, I mean, Hunter Renfrow is without a doubt one of the best route runners in the league. Yeah. Like he's up there for sure, and like his production, his everything.
He has some of the best hands in the league. Yeah.
I don't know how you can't see him as a top 100 player.
And I'm sorry if we have to be rude, but Juszczyk would get the boot if it's between Juszczyk and Hunter as the top 100 players in the NFL. I'm sorry, Hunter. It's disrespectful that you have to be top 100 and have to decide between a fullback, but still, at least get Hunter on the list, please.
Yeah, you know what? Let's get egregious. Let's read off some names. let's pull up. This is okay.
I'll start. Kirk Cousins, you're off the list. Hunter Renfrow's in. All right, boom. He's in the 90s now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the worst wide receiver that they have on here that made the list. Oh, come on. Listen, Odell Beckham Jr. In today's NFL, Odell Beckham Jr. last year and looking forward to this next year with a torn ACL. Yeah. Hunter Renfrow is not on the list. Odell Beckham Jr. is number 90.
Exactly.
That is absurd.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I understand Hunter Renfrow has never and will never make a crazy one-handed, gravity-defying touchdown catch or whatever.
Exactly.
But his impact on the game last year, so much higher than Odell's. That is wild.
And then it's just random guys like Jeffrey Simmons. I'm sure you're a great D tackle, but at 54, here comes Hunter.
No, I mean, yeah, there's like random players. I'm like, really? Yeah, I would say biggest snubs, Hunter Renfrow, Scary Terry comes to mind. Scary Terry's not a top 100 player. Weird to me, but whatever. And also we look at last year, who was his quarterback? Who was passing him the ball?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah,
no disrespect to Taylor Heineke, but
no disrespect to Robert Quinn, but gun to your head, if they said, would you rather have Robert Quinn on your team at 48 or Hunter Renfrow, who'd you take it? Would you rather DN Robert Quinn at 48 or Hunter Renfrow on your team? Sorry, Robert.
I mean, if we're looking at this as like who is an asset and who is impacting the game, who do you have to plan around? Why is Hunter not on there, man?
Yeah, they call him third and Renfrow. Like, this man has a whole down contributed to him.
Yeah, I'd say so. Snubs, some that come to mind are Hunter Renfrow,
Khalil Mack, not on it.
Khalil Mack, Terry McLaurin. Khalil's a weird one. I don't know why he.
Even though Khalil gets injured, it's like he's still one of the best defenders when he's playing. So it's wild.
I mean, he's been.
It's just like I said about Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes tears ACL, they're gonna put him in the top 100 still.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Khalil Mack is not. I don't know why he's not up there.
Because now I'm getting really egregious. Because now if I'm use check and I'm number 100, I'm like, oh, they just put me in just because I'm the best fullback. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just like, you just had to lock me in.
Does putting Kyle Juszczyk at 100 almost feel more disrespectful than if they just left him off?
That's what I think.
Because he's like, oh, the token, like, we got to throw at least one fullback. Let's just throw him at 100.
They're like, where should we put Juszczyk? They're like, throw him at 100 so people won't complain.
Yeah, it's like, can't complain. It's a legitimate position.
And then they're like, where should we put the best kicker of all time, Justin Tucker? Well, let's not get egregious. Let's put him at 94.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, man, thanks. And now, Simmons, so we're going to put him at 48. Well, Hunter, keep him off the list. Who's Hunter?
Hunter Renfrow, not on the list. What NFL are we living in right now? Hunter Renfrow.
This is why it should be. I'm telling you, they need to make it. They need to split it up. It has to be just do here's the best offense. Even if you do here's the best offensive, here's the best defensive players, it might be better.
Do you know how many times Hunter Renfrow caught the ball last year? How many receptions he had? 103. 103 receptions. That kind of production. Okay, how do you not put a receiver with that much production, that much impact on the game in the top 100?
I gotta stop scrolling because I'm looking in the 20s. I'm like, Hunter could replace him.
I could scroll through the NFL top 100 and probably you could list off half the names and I'd say, kick him out, put Hunter in.
Exactly.
There would probably be an unreal amount of names in that list that I would be okay with giving the boot to put Hunter in.
And the thing is, I know what's gonna be really wild is next season when Deshaun's back and he only plays whatever it is 5 games and they rank him in the top 10 and I have a panic attack. Like when he plays 5 games and they lose 3 of them and they come in and they put him, he's the 14th best player in the NFL. I'm like, okay. And then the panic sets in.
The thing is, after the first 50 came out, it was to the point where I was like, maybe Hunter is in the top 50.
That's what I'm saying. And then as I got to 40, I was like, nope.
Like I was like, that's how much I think he absolutely deserved to be in the top 100. Is that I was like, I thought it was like just as likely that he was in the top 50 as that he wasn't on the list.
Well, the thing was also, as the list was coming out, my family was just staring at the TV waiting for Derek. Like, there was anger in the air. And as it got lower, people were getting furious. And they came by and they said, good. Yeah, Hunter not being on is wild. Even if there's a quota where it's like only this many of this player can make it in, like this many Raiders can make it in, still wild. Because like if it's only like this many Raiders can make it in, hey, the Giants don't have enough to fill that many. We have one player on the list. I think it's Leonard Williams. Like let the Raiders take one of our spots, man. Like they give our spot to Hunter.
I just can't. I mean, I get that it's chosen by players, but like, so these players that are voting to not have Hunter in the top 100, are they the same players that are getting cooked by Hunter every week? They're the same ones that are getting absolutely torn apart by this little man.
The one we talked about, Derwyn James was like saying, he was like, no, he's like, you watch Hunter's film, like he's that guy.
Yeah. I mean, defense is playing for him. Also, you have to. He's third in Renfrow.
Justin Herbert knew what he was doing. when he was like, you play in my division, you have to play great quarterbacks like Russell Wilson and Pat Mahomes. I'm like, you know what you're doing. Like, you said that.
Yeah, no, there's 3 names in the division. It would have been,
no, I'm like, you did that on purpose. You knew what you were saying.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thing coming from somebody that got outdueled for a playoff spot. Like, kind of weird, actually.
Someone that was begging for a tie. That makes sense. He would leave his name out.
Please, Derek, don't call a timeout.
I've never wanted a tie more in my life. Okay, man. Loser.
Yeah, trip, I mean, it's a weird shot at somebody that just like objectively outdueled you for a playoff.
Because I would get it if he's listing the best quarterbacks in the league. If he says like 5 of them, doesn't like, or like he mentioned all these names, and doesn't say Derek. I'm like, okay, but the fact when he's mentioning his own division, I'm like, come on, you know how many quarterbacks are in your division. Yeah, Justin Herbert, wherever you're ranked, it's worse.
Matthew Stafford, 27th best player in the NFL.
Sorry. Isn't it wild how I got flamed for saying Matt Stafford's a better quarterback than Russell Wilson, and then the players ranked it and put Russell Wilson 60? 40 picks above.
That is true. You said that is actually very true. You said Matt Stafford's better than
Russell Wilson, and he is 40 picks is the difference in between him and Matt Stafford.
Interesting.
That's very just I just want to throw that out there. There are 40 players in between Russell Wilson and Matthew Stafford.
He did win a Super Bowl last year, I heard.
He did.
Did you hear about that? He won a Super Bowl last year.
I heard that apparently he went to a good team for a year and won a Super Bowl. No.
Yeah. But they carried him, though, right?
No,
they carried him. No. They carry. Quarterback is a position that you can carry.
They spent so much money. Oh, no.
Hot take, saying that, not a hot take, actually. Saying that the Rams were an already great team, Matt Stafford came there, and they carried him to a Super Bowl is one of the stupider things you could say.
Oh, yeah.
In the game of football, where quarterback is the toughest position in the sport, you cannot carry a quarterback.
No.
You cannot carry a quarterback.
I don't believe it.
You can make a quarterback better. You cannot carry a quarterback to a Super Bowl.
No, I do not believe it.
Jimmy Garoppolo, the year that the 49ers made it to the Super Bowl,
he
was not carried to the Super Bowl.
No.
He is probably the line of where anybody worse than that could not make it to the Super Bowl. Anybody better than that maybe would have won. I don't know.
No, yeah, he's riding the line. If you go like this, Daniel Jones, and you go Niners, they may win 4 games.
Yes,
and I love Danny. Danny's my boy.
Disagree with. Yeah,
I've met Danny. I looked that man in the eyes and said, "You're my favorite quarterback."
I disagree with the notion that Jimmy Garoppolo was just carried to the Super Bowl that year. No. I don't think. I mean, if you watch the games, he played well.
If you want to say,
was he Tom Brady? No. Was he like Aaron Rodgers? No.
Because I just want to say, if you think a quarterback can get carried, like Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, Dalvin, and Adam Thielen cannot help when and where they get the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like they could be the best players in the league, but their quarterback is not the best player in the league, and they lose football games.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you need someone to put the ball there.
Exactly.
And somebody to lead the team down the field.
You put Matthew Stafford on the Vikings, I guarantee they make the NFC Championship.
No disrespect to Kirk Cousins, but yes, I absolutely agree. So yeah, maybe that is disrespectful to Kirk Cousins.
Now put Kirk on the Rams. Do the Rams make the NFC?
That's a good question. What is a better team if you switch the quarterbacks? The Rams with Kirk Cousins or Matthew Stafford on the Vikings? I think it's not close, personally. Maybe it's close, but I don't know. It's definitely.
But it's hard because you're like
the Vikings with Matt Stafford. I would say are the better team.
I would say let me real quick. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, defense is still going to be a weak point, but
because it's like okay, wait, the Rams have one of the best defensive players of all time. They have Jalen Ramsey, one of the best corners of our generation, but they have Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. Okay, and I've made my mind.
Yeah, and those games would be painful to watch.
When you're trying to even the thing, remember in like junior high where they're trying to teach about math, they're trying to even it. Here comes you put Kirk on the scale.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Kirk would weigh them down.
I like Kirk, and I think he has been underappreciated for a while. But
why did we start hitting on him? You know what? What's wild is I like Kirk, which is wild.
Yeah, no, that is wild.
And then we just went in for no reason.
No, I like Kirk, and I think he's actually underrated and underappreciated, but also I will hate on him.
Yeah, I agree. It's a
love-hate relationship.
You got to eat it sometimes.
Yeah.
Take your lumps.
Okay, speaking of, we're just talking about Madden.
Yep.
I've got a little game for you.
Perfect. Love games.
Game time.
Game time.
Based on Madden 23 just came out. Hopefully you haven't been studying and memorizing everybody's overalls.
No, not yet.
But I'm going to give you the overalls of
Okay.
a few offensive players for a team.
Okay, perfect.
And based on the overalls, you try to guess
which team they are?
what the team is.
Okay. I might get one.
Okay.
Okay.
This team's quarterback is an 80 overall.
Oh, man.
Their RB1 is a 94 overall. Wide receiver 1 is 93. Next wide receiver is 88. And then their next receiver is 76.
Oh, man. Read it one more time.
Okay. So this team...
That threw me. This team is wild.
Okay.
This team is wild. For a second, I was like, it's the Colts. And then the wide receivers started throwing me off.
Okay, so this team has an 80 overall quarterback.
Okay.
A 94 halfback, 93 wide receiver, 88 wide receiver, and a 76 wide receiver.
I think I'm just going to go... Okay, I think Matt Ryan could be an 80. And I think Jonathan Taylor could be in the 90s. Is probably in the 90s, but he's got to be higher than 93. I'm going to go Colts for this one.
That is incorrect.
Oh, my gosh.
It is... led by Captain Kirk Cousins. It is the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, wow, I should have. That was like, no, that's really good. Okay, that's what got me. I was like, who's like a quarterback that's 80 but has this stacked team around him? That makes too much sense. How in my head I was like, how is this team not winning Super Bowls?
Do you think that? yeah. You heard 94, 93. What's going on? And then
I said 80 quarterback. Oh,
80
okay.
quarterback. Do you think 80 is fair for Kirk? Is that about right?
I agree that he is slept on, but I love making fun of the Vikings and Kirk Cousins specifically. 80 is a little rough, but it's fine.
80 is a little low, but
yeah.
Okay, I've got another one for you.
All right, I'm ready. Were you scared I was just going to crank at all of them and just be like, oh, this will lead?
Yeah, if you heard 80 overall, you're like, oh, that's Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, you're like, okay, the quarterback is 80. Oh, this is the Vikings. What's wild is if you got inside peek in my head while you're listening to the overalls, I was getting egregious. It's like, he's not that good. He's not that good.
Okay, quarterback, 69 overall.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I think I might have this one.
Running back, 85 overall. Wide receiver, 85 overall.
Oh, no.
Wide receiver, 78 overall. Wide receiver, 74 overall.
I think I know it. I don't want to know it, though. The quarterback is going to hurt. This is actually, I think it's the Giants, and this is going to really hurt me if it is.
You think it's the Giants?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Okay. So, was it, is it the Seahawks or no?
No, it is not.
Okay. 69 quarterback. Who's cooking?
The 69 quarterback is Money Mitch.
Oh,
That is Mitch Trubisky and the Steelers.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wait, they gave Najee an 80 something?
They gave Najee 85. Does that feel disrespectful?
Okay, that feels... I'm glad they didn't instantly, he's a 96, but that feels a little lower for how good of a rookie season he had.
Yeah, I get that it's just a rookie year, but, I don't know. That's a little...
Dude, as soon as I heard the 69 quarterback, I started crying. I was like,
you thought it was Danny Dimes? You thought it absolutely had to be Danny Dimes?
In my head, all I was hearing, I was like, that's Danny, that's Saquon, that's Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, that one would have matched up not badly. I don't know who the 85 wide receiver would have been.
Yeah,
that would have been the issue.
I was like, did they really give Kadarius Toney?
They might have put Saquon's probably around there.
Yeah, in my head I was like, Sterling Shepard?
Okay, I've got another one.
Okay.
This team has an 87 overall quarterback.
Ooh.
84 wide receiver.
Oh no.
82 wide receiver. 80 wide receiver. And their halfback is 82.
Okay. My brain instantly wants to go to the NFC East again, and it wants to say either the Eagles or the Cowboys.
You're not in the right conference.
Oh no! I guess I don't know my own Madden overalls, man.
You said NFC East, AFC West.
Oh, so completely the other side of the world. Hang on, wait. His AFC was. Let's relax for a second. Let's relax for a second.
It is the Denver Broncos.
Oh, okay. So that's.
I messed up with halfbacks. I skipped over Melvin Gordon. I only gave you Javonte Williams, but he's 82. Melvin Gordon's 83.
Okay. I thought it still wouldn't have helped. Because the whole thing when I heard, I was like, 2 good wide receivers. Okay, makes sense. And then when I heard the quarterback, I was like, okay, this could be NFC East. And if I would have heard, I think even if you gave me both running backs, I still would have picked the Cowboys, because I thought you were going to throw in like a Zeke and Tony Pollard. Like I was waiting for it.
Okay, I could hit you with another one.
All right, let me hear it.
I mean, I could hit you with 32 of them. Are there? Let me think of another team. No. This team is led by a 74 overall quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Their RB1 is 84 overall. Their wide receiver core is comprised of a 79 overall, a 75 overall, and a 74 overall.
What was the quarterback's overall?
The quarterback is a 74.
Final answer.
So extremely mid across the board. Basically.
Yeah. So okay. Well, that just hurt my heart if it's gonna be a team I like now.
Based on those overalls.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go something wild. I'm gonna say I really want to say that's the Jags.
That is not the Jags.
I was like, yeah, Christian Kirk might be cooking at 79.
No, that is the Chicago Bears. Da Bears.
Oh, da Bears. So that's the definition of a mid-team. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, do those overalls make sense?
No, okay, now that I know it's the Bears, those overalls make a ton of sense. My brain instantly, as soon as you start disrespecting the overalls, my brain says it's the Giants. Every time I'm like, 74 quarterback, here we go.
This team is led by an 88 overall quarterback.
Okay.
Their running back is an 88 overall.
Okay.
Their wide receivers are 91 overall, 86 overall.
You gotta scroll long for that third wide receiver.
And 73 overall.
Oh, so that's the biggest drop I've ever heard in my life. Oh, man. Okay. I think I might have this one. I've said that for all of them, man.
Okay.
So the wide receivers are. Oh, wait a minute. This could be. Okay. I'm gonna guess. I have 2 again. I have the Chargers or the Buccaneers.
Would it help you if I told you that third receiver is named Jalen Guyton? Does that?
No, that would not help.
Okay. What was your guess?
Either the Chargers or the Buccaneers.
Which one? I'll say it's one of. It is one of those. Which one is it?
It's the running back's 88. It's gotta be the Chargers. Is that Austin Eckler?
Yeah, they didn't give Brady an 88. Yeah, it's the Chargers.
Okay. There we go. Okay, that makes sense. That's a pretty good one. It's easy to tell sometimes.
You got one.
Yeah, thank you. That's good. It's easy to tell sometimes. Even though I think certain players should be rated different, once you start to get this is how Madden rates them, it's kind of easy to see where they put specific guys.
Yeah.
And you can be if they think this guy has to be around here or below here. That's wild.
This team is led by a 90 overall quarterback.
Okay.
Their RB1 is 93 overall.
Oh, man.
Their wide receiving core consists of an 87 overall, an 84 overall, and an 83 overall.
This is a good team. This is a good team, boys and girls.
Do those numbers sound like a good offense?
Oh, this team is good. Okay, so the quarterback was 93 or did you say 90?
The quarterback is 90.
Okay, so they think he's better than Justin Herbert. That's how I have to go through this now.
That's a good way to think about it.
They think he's better than Justin Herbert. Well, no one mattered. That could only be 4 guys. Oh, man. Okay. Whoa, that answer's going to be wild. I was about to say the Saints. Say Jameis is a 90 overall.
Is there any world in which Madden would have given Jameis a 90 this year?
Oh, man. Okay, I'm just going to say this one's not right, but this is the only one I can think of. I'm going to say the Titans for this one.
No, it is not.
Okay, because they probably don't. Yeah, they don't think Ryan Tannehill's better than him. What team was it?
It is the Bengals.
The Bengal. Oh, Joe Mixon. My bad.
that is Joe Mixon indeed.
That's a really that one.
Side note: T.
Sense.
Higgins is at 83, while Tyler Boyd is at 84, which is interesting.
That is interesting, because T. Higgins, I think, is the better player. So
The wide receiver too,
Yep.
is he not? I'm pretty sure he's like technically the wide receiver too. This team is.
I know you don't want to read Sam Howell's overall out to me.
Well, there's a lie. I'll just straight up say it's a 99.
Yeah.
This team is led by an 89 quarterback.
Okay.
Their RB1 is an 88 overall.
Okay.
Their wide receiver core is comprised of an 85, an 83, and a 74.
Oh, man. Okay. There's some boys on this team.
There's a hint I can throw at you if you want
yeah,
it.
hit me with a hint.
Their RB1 is an 88 overall. Their RB2 is an 81 overall.
I think I know this one. Okay. Is this the Packers?
It is not the Packers.
Oh my gosh! I thought you were giving me AJ Dillon.
No, you didn't. You got too caught up on that. And you forgot that quarterback is 89.
I did. Is that one the Cowboys?
That one is the Cowboys.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
That's wild. Oh, in my fantasy league yesterday, we had a draft with my family. Zeke fell to like the 4th round. It's a 12-person league.
Yeah.
And I think Tony Pollard went first.
First overall or before Zeke?
It's wild because it's like always Zeke's the guy, and then it's like, but most of the year it's like Tony Pollard's probably cooking.
Yeah, I mean, for dynasty leagues.
Oh yeah,
he's definitely, I would say, the better pick.
Like how many seasons? Like how?
I don't know what Zeke's contract is like, but I would be surprised if he gets re-signed with the Cowboys.
Yeah, because I know he signed that big one like 2 years when he was holding out. He's only 25 though.
Is he really?
That's wild. Dang. Why was I thinking? I was like, he's got 3 years left. Well, I guess in running back years, he's probably doesn't get that long.
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, some of these guys are more injury prone than others. You never know if he's going to get.
How long do you think? Derrick Henry's 28. How much longer do you think we'll see Derrick Henry?
28 years.
He's going
to play until he's 56.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's tough to say because a lot of these running backs, it's just dependent on. There's some positions like quarterback. Yeah. It's kind of like they get older, start playing not as good, or they get more tired, or whatever. Seems like running backs, a lot of the times it's not the case that they're like just getting older. It's usually just injuries as they get older. And then
they just call
which is getting older. It's a symptom of that, but also it's like different.
And I was gonna say, I was like, Derrick Henry's 28. He's more of like gonna pound the ball running back, so he's more likely to get injured. But then I'm like, Saquon is the opposite, and he is injured every single season.
Yeah,
so it's very.
I mean, you never.
But really Saquon has the one where it's like you would expect this one to not be as hurt because he's trying not to get in much contact. He's like more of a receiving back.
But I don't know that more contact does necessarily equate to more injuries because a lot of the times.
Oh, you think like the
non-contact injuries? I don't know if there is in terms of frequency. Yeah. I don't know, but severity. It's the non-contact stuff is the scary stuff that takes out for a season.
That's true. The majority of the non-contact stuff is probably like an ACL, MCL, and then like a contact injury is probably like a concussion, maybe.
Because usually, like if some dude is like limping off the field after he got laid out, then I'm like, oh, like whatever. If he just got hit, but it's when. Like if some dude's just running and then something just happens, or he cuts something. Yeah,
that's the way. If you see a running back, like he's like wide open and then he makes the cut and then he like on the floor, you're like, okay.
Yeah, that's when it's really
pretty
bad.
Easy to see like what happened.
Yeah, usually the worst of the contact injuries are usually if it's like somebody gets rolled over, something like that.
But that's what you'll see like with guys like Derrick Henry, you'll see like he'll maybe do a sideline, go to the tent, and then he'll be back in like 3 plays. It's like he just like he
just got roughed up a little bit.
Yeah, but then like a guy like Saquon, they make it cut in the open field and they get hurt. It's like immediately carted to the thing. That is wild.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the physical style of football does wear on you over time, but it's just like you don't necessarily see that in the moment as much as like I don't know how much you see people like playing physical and because of that they're like tearing ACL or something like that. Yeah,
exactly.
You know? But it definitely does wear on you over time. I mean, your body can only take so many hits.
Yeah, that like if you really think about it, if you get down to it, that's like we're watching grown men like hit each other as like running full speed and hitting each other.
Yeah,
there's not many times I could take that.
No,
there's not like I'm like like Tariq Cohen is the GOAT. Like, 'cause he's a small man, and he ate that for a good couple years.
Yeah.
Man's like 5'5". Yeah. Good luck, man. GG.
This team is led by 78. Their RB1 is an 82 overall.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Uh-huh.
You think you know based just off that? You haven't even heard a receiver yet. Okay.
Give me the receiver. Make it be 76.
Wide receiver 1, 82 overall.
Okay.
And then you have an 81 and another 81.
In my heart, it wants to say Giants, but also in my heart, I know they might not have done that to Danny. Like, they might
Your heart thinks that Danny Dimes is 78 overall. Your heart does not. Think your heart might. Your mind should
That's what
not.
That's what I'm saying. My heart is like, this could be the Giants, but then my mind is like, Danny's probably a 72, 73.
I mean, they gave Mitch a 69. Is Danny better than Mitch?
Oh,
I
if they
got
give
this
Mitch a
from-
69, they might give Danny. Oh, man. Okay. Could you throw a tight end at me?
Oh, I haven't even been saying tight ends.
Or
with
is that
any
going
of
to give it
these.
away if you hit me with this tight end?
No, I don't think it'll give it away, but I totally forgot. I meant to do tight ends from the start. I totally forgot about tight ends. 84 overall tight end.
I'll throw one out there. I'll say this is... Don't distract them. Oh, man. This is the Falcons.
No.
Dude,
it is not the Falcons.
I couldn't think of anyone else. I was trying to think. I was like, oh, man. The Falcons have no wide receivers. I don't even know why I said Falcons. I think I panicked. Who was that?
It is the New England Patriots.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's like Hunter Henry. That's okay. That makes sense.
Hunter Henry, and then
And Devontae Parker is probably...
Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar.
Oh, Nelly's still cooking. And then
Nelly.
Damian Harris was the running back. Yeah. Sources have told me, for those who haven't drafted in their fantasy leagues yet, to stay away from the Patriots this year, and to stay away from Patriots players.
Why? Because they have so many weapons.
My source thinks they're not going to be good at all.
Really?
Yeah, and then for the running back situation, he said, or she said, they said that it's going to be a running back by committee, like more than usual for the Patriots. That just makes sense.
Patriots tend to be that way a lot.
Yeah.
But in fantasy, Patriots running backs are always tricky. Patriots players in general are tricky for fantasy.
Yeah, it's true.
Because Belichick offenses just
Yeah,
utilize
you
a lot
never
of different
know.
weapons.
Yeah, you never know. And this
You could have a guy drop 20, 30 that week, or he could get one target.
Because the one thing you know is like their defense is going to be solid. Because Belichick's a defensive coach, so their defense is going to be solid. But like, not even with Brady, like was their offense like like a boom, like an explosion. You know what I'm saying? Like it was more like Brady's like the best quarterback of all time, but it wasn't like. Not like the Chiefs, right? It's everything's going everywhere. There's like big pops and stuff. So it's gonna be, it's wild.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting. Do you think Patriots have a good year?
I
love Mac as a quarterback. It's no diss towards Mac.
Yeah, I'm inclined to think the Patriots should have a good year. I don't think they've really lost. Their defense should be worse.
Yeah.
Offense, I think, is much different, right? There's no J.C. Jackson this year. Mm-hmm. That should hurt.
That's gonna stink. Wonder where he went. Kill me. Where's Odell gonna go? If he goes back, people are saying Raiders, Bills, and I heard, or they asked him about the Giants, and they said, "Would you go back?" And he said, "Time will tell."
I mean, if I'm Odell, I'm at a point in my career where I want to play with a quarterback that can.
Here's the thing. My heart would be happy. For
Eli was that guy.
Yeah.
Is Danny that guy?
No, he's not that guy. My heart tells me like I wish Odell would come back, but knowing Odell and like the job he's had in the past, like he wants to win. He's not going to go to the Giants. He's not going to the Giants again. The Bills, he'd be great at the Bills. He'd be great at the Raiders.
Do you think that Odell is in a situation currently, given his injury particularly?
Uh-huh.
Do you think that he's in a situation where he kind of has his pick of the lot, where most teams, the assumption is that he could go to a team that he wants to go to, or is it like he needs to find a team that wants him?
Yeah, I think his market is smaller than it has been in the past for sure. I think after the injury specifically, and like we haven't really like, of course, there's stuff going on behind the scenes, but we've only heard like 3 teams, right? We've heard like the Raiders, like he's in Vegas. We've heard Von Miller and like Diggs are trying to recruit him. But like that's really it. We haven't been like, like this team has met with Odell. This team has met. He still is hurt, but still, I feel like it's gonna come down to like Odell is going to just have to choose one of these like few teams that like offers him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of defining what his role is on that team because in LA he wasn't Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods, but he was a great piece to add to the offense. Great,
yeah. And during that Super Bowl, it was like this guy might win MVP if he kept
playing. If he played the whole Super Bowl. I mean, first half of the Super Bowl, he was the Rams offense.
And he was going to be probably the Super Bowl MVP. What I think could happen is I think he'll have to choose between a few teams, but I don't think if there are teams if like a bad team offers him, I don't know if Odell would even go. Like, do you think Odell would rather retire than if he like go to New York or go to like say just somewhere because Atlanta needs wide receivers. Like if like Atlanta offered him, if the Giants offered him, or any places like that, do you think he would rather retire than play for a non-competitive team?
I don't know. I think whether they're competitors or not, I would think if I was in a situation, I want to play somewhere with talent. So I'm wanting to be a competitor, but also even more than that, looking at the QB position. Yeah. Wanting to play somewhere with a QB that I think I can click with and can get me the ball.
Obviously, I don't think he's he's a great wide receiver and he'll be great wherever he goes. I don't think he's at the point where he can demand that much money either, especially after this injury.
No, I mean, yeah, coming off of an injury, you're not going to
ACL, right?
Yeah.
Coming off the ACL, it's going to be hard.
being older, coming off of an ACL injury, you're not going to get that big of a
he's
contract.
like 29. Yeah, he's. It'll be. I hope we see him somewhere soon though. I hope he goes somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's always exciting to watch Odell play, even though like I know some people were slandering AJ Green when we talk about Odell, but still,
How long do you think it'll be before we see Will Fuller get signed to a team? Do you think before the season starts or partway through the season?
I think
will he go the whole season without being signed?
I think he'll go partway through the season and then get signed, which is
when someone gets hurt. Or
which is wild because if he's not signed already, like it's wild because it's like Odell and Will Fuller, two of the bigger names like in the free agency market still for wide receivers. Odell's obviously hurt, but it's still wild that like a team that probably needs a wide receiver like Atlanta who just lost who lost Calvin Ridley for the year. Like they haven't gone out and reached out to him. Maybe they have, but
yeah, I mean I think wild. Will Fuller there's some concerns. Last year he had missed some games for PED violations and also had some injuries. I think a broken finger. Yeah. So there's concerns, but yeah, it is. I don't think he'll.
It's always.
I can't imagine he'll go the whole season without getting signed somewhere.
It's also always sad to see guys that you grew up watching like slowly go like unsigned and then like slowly retire, like the lesser name guys and stuff like that. It's always sad. Like I used to love when I was young watching Pierre Garçon play, the wide receiver, and then like as they start to lead the league, and then like as like Eli left, and as like Big Ben left, and then Phillip Rivers, I'm like, this is getting sad, man. These are like the quarterbacks I grew up watching, and they're all like heading out. Just the way the world works, and the NFL works, there are gonna be kids that grew up like in their like old quarterbacks are gonna be like Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that,
right?
And that's wild
Davis
too.
Mills,
yeah, but
Sam Howell.
Oh yeah, but that's wild too. Because don't you? Yeah, that was good, Danny.
Well, hang on.
Because don't you feel like, as we get older and stuff, are you still gonna see like guys like Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that to be like the younger guys, or like Joe Burrow to be like the young guys?
Only while they're still young. When they get older, I'll see them as older guys.
Yeah, we don't hold on to sentimental stuff like that. Actually, one more question: which NFL player do you think could get you, if you were a Hobbit, could get you to Mordor?
Well, explain that question again. Could get me to Mordor?
Yeah, like if you were a Hobbit, if you were Frodo, you had to deliver the ring. Which NFL player would you choose to help take you to Mordor?
Oh, to be my Samwise Gamgee?
Sam, yeah.
Ooh. So I'm trying to decide of whether I want somebody that's like like if I want to go the physical route or like the like somebody with like that's like good of heart.
Because you need someone to hit you with the daredevil the sick line. I can carry you. I need that. I need that out of me.
Oh, I feel like there's a really good. Do you have one?
Okay, I don't think it's gonna be someone fast. I think it needs to be somebody.
I might go.
Would you go running back?
Oh, you're going by position. I was just thinking players. I was gonna
Oh,
say.
no, I was gonna say a player, but like, would you pick a running back?
No, I think I might go Darren Waller.
Oh, that's a really good choice.
Because I feel like Darren Waller, he's got some inspirational. Like he could hype me up.
Oh yeah.
He could hype me up. He could keep me right.
That's really good.
Keep me going, and he's also definitely big
true.
and strong enough that he could throw me over his shoulder and carry me too.
That a tight end might be the perfect pick. Like Darren Waller might be the perfect pick, or maybe like a quarterback like Derek would not let you lose hope. Like Derek would be like talking to you the whole time. Like Derek would make you feel bad for like the wing weighing you down.
Would it make you feel more motivated or less motivated if you looked if it was Kirk Cousins, you looked him in the eye and he said, "If we die, we die."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that and who would be your Gollum? It would be I would choose Derek. Derek wouldn't let me. Derek would be my Sam, and my Gollum would be
Jerry Jones. I don't know why that came to mind.
Why was I thinking Tariq Cohen? I need somebody. It's got to be a defensive player, but he needs a little bit of like he needs a little bit of like fight in him. So it would be Derek would keep me motivated. He'd keep me around the campfire. He'd be like, "We're so close." But Derek would we'd come back. I'd be laying on the mountain like dead, and he'd be like, man, it was fourth quarter. It's time to clutch. It's time to clutch up.
That's facts. He's not clutch though.
Yeah, he's not clutch. Yeah, says Madden.
Objectively, Madden's the decider of that.
Yeah, and my Gollum would be Matt Nagy.
Oh, that's good.